Alright, well, I don't know if anyone's here, but I'm gonna get started because I'm ready to get started. Look at this final table spot here. So my question is probably like, what is... Am I jamming any pocket pair here? On the final table, certainly not, right? When there's when there's two other short stacks. If I was like the only short stack, probably jam any pocket pair. In this dynamic, I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, my blinds all reset from last time. It's kind of annoying. Alright, so we're five-handed. Have to make the... Actually, do the blind? I don't think the blinds have to make sense. They don't have to match the total chips when it's a final table sim. I think that only matters multi-table, I think. How many chips are in play though? 9.5 million. Just add a 0 to everything, I guess. Alright. Five-handed final table. Okay, future game sim. Alright, big blind. 11. I'll bring this over here actually so I can type it out quicker. 28. 15. 12.5. 25.5. Okay. I think everything's good here. I could use a different payout structure. This one is really top heavy. 24% first is kind of insane. Oh, whatever. I don't know the payout structure for this one anyway, so not too worried about it, I guess. I could just change. I could do like a couple sims where I have different payout structures. Oh, I keep playing. I could do 2 sims, change the payout structures, keep everything else the same, and then see like how much the payout structure affects. I've never really done that too much before. I have looked at like GTO Wizards' library and compared like large field to small field though, so I've never compared different payout structures. But they don't usually differ too much. I mean 24 is crazy. I would say 15% is like the lowest you'll see. Maybe a little lower than that actually. Alright, anyway, could do that. Oh, forgot to put a HRC in the title here. There we go. Stream's gonna lag when this is loading, by the way. Let's just run the full tree for a little bit. Let's get everything overall not so scattered. Alright, so I'm in the cutoff here, so before I look at it, let's make some guesses. What's going to be our bottom here in the cutoff? Final table, these are the stacks. If anybody has a guess, feel free. I'm going to guess... I mean, we're like tied for last right now. Fives or fours? I wouldn't have a hard time believing deuces are in there when we're... But at the same time, like these... We're all so close with two stacks, so maybe it's like... Yeah, maybe deuces seems like a little much. Yeah, I don't know, fives or fours, I guess. Oh. Okay. And we're in the cutoff. Fours. Okay, look at that. Not bad. Let's run this exact subtree though, down a little bit. See if it makes any bit of a difference. What a song this is. Alright, I mean, fours is worth like nothing. I wouldn't recommend doing it usually. Even fives is worth very little. Yeah, fives is not worth it on a normal final table. Like with bad players on it. Stop. Like this small amount of EV is not worth trying to pick up when there's a lot more EV and letting people punt, I think. Even sixes here is not worth much. 0.05%. I guess it's okay. 5% of aces is 0.09. So I mean, like, not really worth much. I mean, if you have a really like soft, like shit table, maybe if they're like really aggro, like they're just, or maybe aggro's not the word, like loose. They're really loose. Maybe just fold sixes. Go with sevens. Yeah, ace deuce suited is worth nothing. I mean, you could just honestly fold these on a shitty, like on a really like loose, soft table. It seems like a crazy fold, but it's not worth much. Keep unpausing it. Queen 10 suited. Queen 10 suited is worth a little too much. We could probably just fold these nines as well. So let's make like an I think that's a pretty reasonable. So we'll have like a theoretical output here to look at, and then we'll try to I wonder if I can just input. I can make players play poorly and then literally see how much, if we should like, how much tighter we should be instead of just guessing. Alright, FT 180 man. Also, how would our range? Our range would be even tighter, right, if it was less top heavy? Double factor, cutoff. I mean, cutoff's, it's pretty high. I don't know how much it would change. These are pretty large numbers. 13%, 10%. I mean, I don't think it would change that much. If, I forgot what I was saying. Forgot what I was comparing it to. Oh well. Okay, so one FT 180 man. I jammed 5-5 here. Wasn't sure. Actually, I don't even have to say. I mean, I guessed fours was the bottom. Literally fours is the bottom, so saying I wasn't sure is maybe unnecessary. I jammed fives here. What else is I gonna add? I'll come back to that. Let's duplicate this. So let's try to, since we only have 5 players to work with, we can, let's just like, let's try to make more realistic opening ranges for understudied players. So right now we're looking at hijack, 25 bigs. I don't think my camera's in the way. Yo, what's up, Steamrolled? Did I have an FT yesterday? No. I did make the day 2 of the 1K PKO though. That is next Sunday though. I only have 20 blinds to start the day 2 though, so it's not gonna be like... We're gonna need some early luck, is what I'm saying. But I think there'll probably only be like maybe 100 people or so left, day 2. Yeah, WPT Gold, the 1.1K PKO. I made day 2 of that yesterday. Probably be like 100K for first. We'll probably have like 100 people left or so, but I'm gonna be in the back of the pack for sure. I made a deep run yesterday. I could bring up the stream actually. Let's see. Real quick, won't take long. It won't take too long. Oh, actually, I was uploading it already, so I can just bring up the VOD here. Oh, so we made a deep run in this 530 day 2 with 750K for first. How deep did we make it? Pretty deep. I want to say like, oh, we 83 here. 83 are left here, so we at least made it final 83. $74. This had 155,000 for first, so this was a pretty sweet sweat. 65 left. Is this the hand I bust? Let's see. I don't even remember how I busted this tournament. I know how I busted the other one, that 55 stack builder. This one's interesting because I'm pretty close to like a... yeah, that's where I busted. We get any voice? Fuck! God damn it. GG's. Typical. Fuck, man. Alright, 65th. Oh, 2K. 65th. That was the deepest run I had in anything, but this 55 stack builder, I started the day with like a top 5% stack, but there were 1,000 people in here. So, but I pretty much, where are we finishing this one here? What is this? We had a nice run in this 55 mystery bounty, but I didn't get any bounties, so like ended up not being a lot. And the stack builder, it's like the last big tournament, pretty much. Oh no, so we made this Oh, we made this 1K PKO day 2 out of like 120 players. We finished
flop,
top.
guys. We're gonna click it.
Bing, bing, bing.
We don't hate a call.
Oh, also this mystery bounty.
Right, 2
Made a
tables
deep
left.
run in, but no big ones.
This one, we're not gonna make any money from this one, but day 2 is.
Yeah. Oh, okay, we must have just bust.
And this is the one in the title. This one we can make money from today.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was closer. Oh, there you go. So we made day 2 of this, which is pretty sweet. 500k prize pool. That'll be next Sunday though, or this Sunday. And then this one here, we had a fat stack builder. Well, we had a fat stack at one point, and I guess we ran pretty bad at some point. And then we lost here, Jacks versus this clown who 3-bet Queen Jack off from the button versus low Jack for some reason. And just fucking gets me. Just trying to get a pay jump. I was also, at first, small thought crossed my mind that I wanted to fold because this guy snapped 3-bet as soon as it got to them. And we're like final 100 of this large field tournament, so I'm like, oh my god. This guy just has fucking value. Turns out he didn't, and I would have been... This would have been a miserable fold, and he just fucking gets there. And that was it. That was the day. Made almost like 2,000 bucks plus the day 2 and the 1K. So that's it. Alright, let's get back to this. Alright, so we have a second copy of this hand here. Let's see, let's make it more realistic. Alright, so let's say this guy's playing all of these. Let's say that guy's playing a little wider than he should be. Cut off 12. Min raise. Are they gonna min raise any wider? Probably not. They probably min raise too tight, if anything. This guy's 12. Let's look at the jamming range first. Cut off. So let's say they jam a little wider than they're supposed to. They got 12 in the cutoff here. Let's say he jams like ace-9, ace-8 off. King-queen, king-jack, queen-jack. Just gonna jam ace-king. ace 5 off jam. I don't know. Okay. Min raise range looks okay. Yes. Probably always just min raise. These, I guess. Okay. Now it's time for the button. What would an understudied player do on the button here? 15 bigs. Open. Well, I accidentally made it 2.3, but yeah, I don't really feel like rerunning it. Let's look at the jamming range. Let's say button is like jamming these. Let's say he's jamming all these. I can see that. What else? Probably less likely to jam like a king 7 suited or something. Whatever, we'll leave that part alone. Okay, so if I change that, a little bit of min raising, mostly value. Okay, seems pretty fair. All right, small blind. Oh, cutoff. I shouldn't have changed, right? Because I'm the cutoff. Ah, shoot. If I unlock it, should be fine. There you go. Okay. Lock that. Alright, small blind. Do I want to change anything here? I could change how the big blind reacts to an all-in. So small blind jams, big blind's supposed to call something like this. That seems pretty reasonable. Maybe big blind will call a couple more pocket pairs. Maybe the big blind will call like ace deuce off. Maybe a couple more suited kings. Queen 8 suited is probably in there, something like this. At least. Maybe there's a couple more too. Alright. So now we think everybody's playing a little more fishy than in theory, right? So let's see if any of these bottom combos disappear. Now that everybody kind of sucks a little more. Maybe not even sucks, just less aware, studied. I mean, I'm not even making like crazy assumptions. What happened? Oh, I locked this range. Oh, we gotta do it again. Oops. Okay. Alright, so we originally started at we're playing 22.7% of hands in theory. On our softer final table. So we're already starting to tighten up, it looks like. This number's going... Oh, no. Oh, we're starting to get looser? What's going on here? Kind of odd. Thought we'd get tighter. Thought if everybody was playing looser, we would tighten up because we're more likely to get pay jumps. But it looks like we're getting looser. Looser and looser. I mean, it's only 1%, but... which isn't a lot. At all. But it's still moving in the direction of increasing. Which is kind of the info I was looking for, like which way would it go? Oh wait, we're folding more now. Oh, I'm dumb. Oh, I don't understand numbers. Okay, we're folding 1% more. Okay, that's what I thought would happen. Okay. Jeez Louise, I gotta get my second cup of coffee, I guess. Alright, this is good enough. Alright, so we got a little bit looser, but it's not crazy. Or, we got a little bit tighter. But, like, 5s are still jamming. But, yeah, I don't know, they're worth less. 0.03. I mean, it's worth the same. What other random things can I change that understudied players would do on a final table? I changed all their like pre-flop ranges. I would probably also have to like change how I would have to make them call off like all-ins looser. Maybe that's where like the big adjustments come from. So if we're in the cutoff, let's just focus on the players behind. So we'll skip hijack's range. So like button. Let's say button raises, right? And small blind goes all in. Let's just run this spot for a second. Looks like it's a little looks like it's a little scattered here. Alright, so anyway, we're gonna look at, so if button opens and then small blind goes all in, button should be folding all hands. But I guess it's not gonna be that for short stack, so like the ranges are already built that way. Like we open jam all the medium hands, we raise fold, we open not all in fuller, so I don't think this is actually change anything. Okay, this is a lot more clean. Alright, so small blind goes all in, button calls. Yeah, I mean, nothing really to change. Alright, so let's say maybe people... What is this song? Oh. Okay, never mind. Not bad. Alright, so... Probably have to look at, like, all-in calls. So if button goes all in, and big blind calls like this in theory, let's say big blind calls way looser. So we got the final table on the bottom left if you haven't been able to see already. So that's kind of like the table setup. This is our roughly theoretical calling range in the big blind if button jams. Even as the short stack, we're not even calling king queen suited, which I thought might get in there. But I guess there's two other stacks that are pretty close to us, so it makes sense. So let's say big blind's not really aware of how tight you're supposed to call off all ins. So let's say they're calling off like this. Add a few more pairs. Let's add king queen suited. We want to go like this. Maybe that seems pretty reasonable. You could even add like king jack off, king 10 suited. If they're really just like unaware, I wouldn't be surprised if they find those calls. Queen jack suited too. Let's do it half the time here. Why not? Let's like add ace 4 suited a little bit. Maybe some threes. Okay, so let's assume big blind calls off that all in too tight. Okay. Or too loose, I mean. So that's only really one scenario. Oh, maybe if the small blind jams. I did that already, right? Big blind calls too wide. Yeah, I did that already. What other scenarios would people mess up here? What about hijack? Do they jam at all? They don't have a jamming range. Oh, that obviously because the small blind's covering them. Yeah. Okay. I thought the small blind was shorter. You could also mess with my range here. So if like I jam, I could make. So if I non all in, see what the big blind's supposed to defend. Clean that up a little bit. While it's loading, the stream's gonna lag a little bit, by the way. It is what it is. Okay, so anyway, let's say I open in the cutoff, not all in, off 12. Big blind is supposed to defend like this, right? So people are really bad defending on the final table. In the big blind, they call way too loose. Like you're not supposed to, you're not supposed to call off any of the offsuit connected hands. 7-6 off, 6-5 off. People are defending like 8-6 off here. Like people are so loose in the big blind on final tables. So let's account for that as well. So let's say big blind maybe jams the ace-5, ace-4. Probably not though. But maybe they find it. Let's go like that. Alright, what else are they calling? Definitely calling like all of these. And I don't think people are folding like any suited hands, be my guess. At least if they're understudied. Which is most people, so let's assume that. Okay. I mean, I could assume even wider, honestly, but I mean, this is probably good enough. People aren't jamming these low-suited kings either, so let's just have them call these. Let's just call all these. Yeah, bad players are not jamming these suited broadways. They might jam like the suited aces, so I guess we'll leave those in there. What else? Okay, and probably just jamming every pocket pair. I don't know. I could see randoms just jamming any suited ace here, but I'll add that. I don't know. Something like this, I guess. Sure. What happened to Jack 10 off? Just got eliminated somehow. Must have clicked something wrong. Let's say they jam King Queen suited sometimes and like aces sometimes. They probably jam aces a lot here. Alright. Anything else? That's first cutoff open. Probably change the button open. Button opens. Big blind. Wait, what is this? What is this range? Am I reading this wrong? It's just button opens. We're in the big blind. Why does the range look like that? Is it because I ran the spot so much? What does it look like in the original one? So this is the original spot, button opening, big blind, defending. Does it just not want to have the big blind defend anything because people are playing poorly? Oh, because I made the buttons range super tight. Oh, right. Oh. Wow, look at this. What the fuck? So I made buttons range look like this. It's mostly premiums sprinkled in with a couple garbage hands. Probably overweight premiums. 3.9%. The original spot wanted to do 7.8%. Yeah, so I made it heavyweight, heavily overweight premiums. And this is our fucking range in the big blind? What the fuck? I'm gonna run this even more. Wow. This is eye-opening, actually. A lot of bad players will, like, I think, just only open premiums on a short stack. What the fuck is this range? This is insane. This is the big blind responding to a button open raise. To be fair, I made it 2.3. That's in my... I didn't feel like rerunning it, so we have to call an extra 3 than normal, but still. Wow. I mean, that's enough. Like, it's not changing. Wow. Okay, so... This is a great find, actually. This is also factoring in everybody else's node locked mistakes that I put in too. So it's not only it's probably mostly because the button's super tight, but it's also a little bit because maybe it's probably mostly the button actually. I was thinking like all these locked ranges probably play an influence too, but it's mostly this. Like this is just heavily imbalanced in favor of like value hands. Wow, so okay. So let's see, how do I want to... Is this ran? Oh! The ACR stream on Twitch is starting up. You guys want to snag some free tickets? Or it's at least supposed to, I don't know. Sometimes they don't run it. I think I've gotten a few $100 off that stream. I just show up for the giveaways, pretty much. I mean, they didn't say anything about not streaming yet, so we'll see. Okay, so yes, ran pretty low. Good enough. So this is our normal... Wait, do I have this already? Oh no, okay. Okay, so... Like this. gonna make another cup of coffee in a minute. Okay, so FT 180 man. Let's write theory next to it. I don't think I need to add anything, it's just for reference. And then this is pretty wild here. Pretty wild stuff here. Crazy tight, big blind, defending range. Versus heavily overweight value button range. Right, crazy tight. Okay, and then let's show. Let's compare buttons range. In theory, two are more exploitative. A more exploitative scenario here. I was thinking I could see people maybe like raise folding king 9. I don't know. Maybe I should add more. Well, that's a separate note. This is because let's say, you know, maybe they have some raise folds off 15 here, but let's say button has like 12 or something. I think a rec raise needs to be like heavily overweight value there, so even if this isn't like the perfect range, it gets the point across that I'm looking for, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so what kind of music do we want to listen to? Let's try this playlist actually. This is a good playlist for studying. That other one's already repeating songs. Alright. I feel pretty good about that. That's a great find for me. I could just like, I mean, how bad is it to call though? Like, pocket pairs aren't going to be bad calls. Like, they're only slightly losing, and that's assuming the button's, like, not opening, like, King 9 off. So we could probably make a third copy, actually, and then add a couple more. Duplicate. Okay. So let's give the button a couple more reasonable opens here. Say maybe this, something like that. Huh. I don't know. Offsuit combos add up quickly. Alright, let's see how much the spot changes. Just adding a couple more offsuit hands. Oh, yeah, the ACR stream is live. If you guys want chance at some tickets, might as well hang out there. They're gonna give away tickets in probably like 10 minutes. Probably gotten like $200 worth of tickets. Just kind of tuning in. I don't even really watch that much. Just I just know when the giveaways are. Biggest giveaways right in the beginning. The rest of the stream, the giveaways aren't worth too much. Alright, so now we're starting to play a few more hands, but still really tight. Really tight. What was our range in theory on the button? So we're supposed to open up a lot more offsuit A6 instead of jamming, which makes sense. I would think button maybe jam like Ace 5 here, which it seems like indifferent about. I probably wouldn't have never jammed Ace 7. But this is pretty reasonable here. Okay, so this is our new range. There's a little bit more of a reasonable range here on the button. So, essentially, suited broadways, pocket pairs, all are fine. You don't want to be jamming them, though. Just kings and ace-king suited, really. Whereas in theory, versus an open, since we have a lot more hands that fold versus a jam, big blind can jam a ton, right? You can jam like king 4 suited. Queen jack suited. I'm surprised these pocket pairs are jamming, actually. I guess it's because we're the short stack, but like, no, that might not be it. What is the reason? Maybe it is because we're the short stack. I feel like most of the time low pocket pairs call here. Maybe it's because it's the button, kind of a lot of folding hands. Let's see what we do versus a cut off open. Cut off open, big blind. I mean, yeah, it's like indifferent between calling and jamming. I don't know. Seems to favor jamming more still. What about versus hijack? Like, we don't do a lot of, we probably have a higher risk premium versus hijack, right? since like we don't really like if I jam versus cut off and win and all in, they're probably gonna get knocked out, right, from the big blind. But if I jam versus the hijack and win, they still have 15 blinds. So I'm pretty sure our bubble factor is going to be a lot higher versus hijack. Big blind versus hijack, 12%. Whereas versus the cutoff, it's only 8%. So it's almost like 50% higher versus the hijack here. Even though they should be probably playing a wider range than the cutoff. Maybe that's not true. Hijack's playing 20.3. Cutoff is playing 22.8. So cutoff's actually wider. More of their hands are jamming. Hijack's just pure opening. Which doesn't affect the bubble factor, so I don't know why I was pointing that out. Anyways. So what was I going to look at? Oh, so hijack. What are we doing versus hijack now? Hijack opens big blind. Still finding a lot of jams. Okay, so maybe I'm calling these low pocket pairs too often. I could have swore they were just calls, though, like in other spots I've looked at. Wonder what I'm thinking of. Maybe because there's no short stack at the table? That could be it. I could have, let's see if I have any FTs saved with short stacks on them. Two short stacks here, no big stack. Okay, so this is another final table spot. We're a little deeper in the big blind now. Let's see what we do. Button opens. Button's probably gonna jam a lot, yeah. Button jams a shit ton. Let's say they min raise though. It's not big blind. Mostly calling here. Okay, so maybe it's because we're a little deeper. Whereas in this one, the big blind, we only have 10 bigs. So we jam more. We still have fold equity at this depth, so it kind of makes some sense. Here we have a lot of chips. And there's 6 big blind stack and an 11 big blind stack. Let's see how we play versus hijack. Probably just don't jam anything, right? Or not anything, but low pocket pairs, I would imagine, just never jam. Hijack, min raise, big blind. It's more the middling pocket pairs, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's not really worth jamming these. There's no EV gain. So yeah, that's probably okay. So we're jamming the low pocket pairs here because we're shorter. Okay. And also there's no short stack, right? Maybe. Like I wonder how would our range change here if I add like a if I put like a 3 big blind stack on the button or something. Okay, kind of lost my train of thought. I'm pretty happy what I got out of this hand, though. Is there anything else I want to look at here? I mean, I kind of just spent like an hour on this one spot, but which is fine. I went pretty in depth, I would say, so. Alright, yeah. Okay. Feel pretty good about that. Let's delete that one. One step closer to emptying out our folder here. Anybody have any questions about any of these spots? I'm trying to think if I can get anything else out of here. Did I finish my notes? Oh, I could. Okay, so this one actually, let's do this. Gave button a few more raised folds. And now big blind. These hands all become kind of give you an idea of like which hands are good. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but like the suited broadways, pocket pair, suited connectors, all reasonable. Continue. Reasonable hands to defend. If assuming button has more garbage opens, I guess. That's really all I need. I don't need to be too specific. I know what I'll know what I'm talking about when I review it. That's all I need to know. I don't need to write an essay. Okay. I think we kind of milked this spot here pretty hard. Okay. I guess since we're on the topic of FTs, this looks like the last FT in this folder anyway. I think I still have more in my bookmarks, but definitely get the final tables looked at. Oh, I folded here, so what did I do? I think raise fold is the play here, but yeah, I don't know, there's two short stacks. I mean, versus the big stack, I definitely need to play this hand, right? Unless I make some assumptions about how everybody's playing, maybe I don't. But this hand is probably not worth too much here, so like, I think with some kind of reasonable reason, folding isn't terrible. Let's see. Let's try to, alright, let's close all these. Do I want to save any of these? Yeah, let's save this one. Five-handed. Average stack is what? 37, 49, 7, 65, 85, 90 divided by 5. Probably like 18 effective average, something like that. Okay. So I don't need to write that. actually don't mind saving this one either. Lineman, FT, 5-handed, 18. Exploit. All. Players other than Hijack are loose Rex. Okay. Hey, what's up, Dave? How's it going? Why am I using HRC versus GTO Wiz? At the end of the year, I canceled my GTO Wizard subscription, went to HRC because I was already using GTO Wizard for like a couple years at that point. I've used HRC before. HRC, as far as I know, unless GTO Wizard updated something, HRC is better for like pre-flop exploitative scenarios, because GTO Wizard you can't change pre-flop ranges for a lot of spots, right? So I had a lot of like pre-flop questions, so I was like, well, I'll sub to HRC for a little while and kind of look into those. I mean, I kind of did most of the work I wanted to do already, pertaining like pre-flop exploits. But yeah, I think HRC is better than GTO Wizard pre-flop. But I think GTO Wizard's probably better for most other spots. It's also quicker. I don't have to like run every spot, but yeah, I was just getting annoyed. Like I had so many questions pre-flop and like that I couldn't answer with GTO Wizard, so I just felt like switching for a little while. Oh, I forgot the giveaway. No, what is it? Monday Fun Day. All right. Oh. All right, we're in there. Oh, it's only $16 tickets today. Okay, well, didn't miss out on too much. A lot of the time, they give away $55 tickets. Oh, actually, the hype train keep going up still. Okay, never mind. Okay, sorry. Nobody cares. What was I doing? Yeah, that's my reasoning right now. I was actually thinking of getting GTO Wizard again soon, but yeah. This is a lot cheaper too. This is only I think I have their best. I have their best version, I believe, HRC Pro, and it's only like $400 for the year. So yeah, GTO Wizard's like 4 times that or something. I think I was spending like $1,600 a year in GTO Wizard. So yeah, this is a lot cheaper. A lot more reasonable for like someone newer to the game or newer to studying to get into, I'd say. A lot more reasonable price. Alright, so let's look into this King Queen hand. Alright, we got 3, 6, 7-handed. Alright. Big blind has 16. Small blind is 21.5. 11. 43. 25. 38. 23.5. Alright, let's make the button min raise because I'm tired of looking at 2.3. Small blind 3x. Actually, let me I'm gonna save one of these separately for like final tables, so I don't have to adjust it all the time. 3 bets in position. Definitely need to make it smaller. Well, it depends. Actually, maybe not. Yeah, I lied. Let's leave it alone. I can always adjust sizes. Put this codes here. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Okay, let's run this for a bit longer. I think I bookmarked some FT spots as well. Yeah, wow. I got like 6 final table spots in my bookmarks. I mean, those are the spots I want to look at the most, or like late game. Late game, bubble. These are the spots I want to target first, usually. These are the most valuable spots, I'd say. I don't even know if you can hear me, it's probably lagging. Alright, what was... Oh, so we're in the... I'm not going to run this too long. We are... Small blind versus cutoff here. So let's look at what we should do in theory first. I imagine the king queen off plays a raise fold. That's my guess. We'll see. Ooh, king jack off even gets there. King queen off is jamming. Oh wait, small blind doesn't have a raising range? Oh, that's a problem. Okay, let's add a small bet or a small blind non all-in range. Make them raise to 5 big blinds. Okay, let's rerun this. Okay, now cutoff raises, small blind is jamming queen off, really? I thought we would have went for the 3-bet fold. So, I mean, it's not worth a lot, regardless of how you play it. So, I don't think fold is bad. I don't know, let's compare, actually. So, jamming makes 0.04%. Which is a pretty low number, but let's see what aces makes. Aces makes 1.49%. 10% is 0.14, 5% is about 0.7. So king queen off is worth like what, like 2% of aces or something? I don't know, I feel like I got the math wrong, but it's not worth a lot. And I'm sure if like we made the table, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe like if we make the table pretty soft, I would imagine that would tighten up, but I don't know if it's enough to get rid of king queen off here when king jack off actually gets played a decent amount. Alright, so I mean, like, 5s here is worth nothing. It's worth 0.00. Sevens is worth nothing. I mean, you could honestly pass on queen 10, jack 10 suited, pocket 8s and worse. Probably jam ace 5, ace 4. Ace 3. I mean, even these are worth nothing. You could just fold these too. I don't know. Let's see. So let's first take a little screenshot of this. 180 man FT. Theory. I folded king queen off like a nit. I guess I could have taken a better screenshot. Never mind. I'll just type, or I'll just put what it's worth. Alright, so now let's save this, duplicate, duplicate, and now we start messing with it. Alright, so we're in the small blind here. I mean, it's a 7-handed final table. It's a lot to mess with. What would be the biggest factors that would change our play in the small blind? Well, we cover 2 players. Probably the shorter players are the most impactful, then like the mid stacks. I don't know. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, I could just begin anywhere, but I don't want to change everybody's range in every scenario here. It'd take a while. So, alright, so cutoff is opening. That range is probably the most impactful, right? So this is a theoretical cutoff opening range. There's a lot of it goes very wide. So let's assume people don't. Maybe we're up against someone who doesn't know we can go that wide. We could also look at a spot where someone goes too wide. Do that. So we could do because the cutoffs, once it folds to the cutoff, they're, you know, effectively the chip leader. Oh, they're actually the chip leader at the table, but even if they had somebody bigger behind, once it folds to them, we're the big stack in this scenario. What range are we looking at? Let's look at the opening range, not the jamming range. So let's first look at a cutoff range that is just not opening. Like as wide as they could be. So cutoff. Just take a few of these suited hands away. Let's also make them jam less. So I don't think people are finding the jams with these suited kings. For the most part. At least the small ones. Maybe we'll leave King 8 in there. Suited aces, maybe, sure. Depends. Actually, let's take King 8 out of jams. Let's take all these out of the jams, too. Honestly, people just don't jam enough here, probably. Alright, let's leave it at that, I guess. Cut off. Open jamming range. I could actually see them just... I don't know. I don't think they're gonna jam too much, honestly. Like a recreational in the cutoff here. Let's just leave that alone. Take these out for sure. Okay, so this is a tighter cutoff, and let's have them open, and now we're in the small blind again with King Queen, and let's rerun it. Then we can run a spot where we think people are like, we think somebody's too loose. Check that out too. Good luck, bomb pot. Oh, I missed that. I don't know if I was in it. Was I in it? What, did I make it in the... What's up, Jets? Did I make it in the bomb pot? I wasn't even paying attention. I don't think I've ever actually made it in the bomb pot before, but somehow I win the tickets in the beginning. Did I get in the bomb pot and get dealt ace jack and lose? That is a shame. Okay. Did I run it or what? No, probably not. Maybe I did. Let's see. Alright, so versus a tighter person in the cutoff. Let's see how much worse King Queen off is performing here. Like King Queen off is staying in there, but it looks like we did get tighter. So King Queen off lost about half of its equity. Or EV or whatever. Yeah, oh, equity. Yeah, equity. Table equity, to be exact. Alright, but still stays in there, but barely. And that's only for accounting for a slightly tighter cutoff range. Imagine I think if, like, imagine I change, like, a couple other spots where people are playing too loose or making mistakes. I don't think King Queen off is worth it here. Now we could also rerun this, and occasionally you get a chip leader who's just like opening way too wide. I don't know if that's more often or less often the case, but I've definitely seen people open way too wide as a chip leader as well. Up, Derby! Derby! Give me the Derby! Derby, Derby, Derby! Alright, so we're gonna make cutoff open way too loose, right? So let's do that. So this is a final table. We got a big stack in the cutoff. What have I seen really loose openers do before? Probably just go like this. I'm like, okay, so let's assume we got a loosey-goosey in the cutoff, and he's playing something like this. I mean, I don't know if anybody would really go too much wider than this, but maybe. This is probably closer to the end of the extreme, I would guess. Alright, so now we're in the small blind. Let's see how much, how much different we play now with a super loose. Oh. Holy cow, how much looser we're going already. We're already 10 looser. And it ain't done yet. I'm actually gonna let this run for a second. I'll be right back. Looks like it has like a minute or two in it. Alright, looks like we're done here. So here, we're folding 78.6, and in theory we're folding 86. So the bigger adjustment is actually versus a loose chip leader rather than a tight one, I'd say. Because versus the tight chip leader, we only adjust by like 2%. We go like 2% tighter versus the tight guy. But versus the loose guy, we go 8% looser. Maybe it's because I just made this guy super loose, and I didn't really make the tight guy super tight. So in theory, the cutoff should be playing 41% of hands. In the tight scenario, I made him play 37%, so I made him 4% tighter. In the loose scenario, I made him 14% looser. So that's probably why I made a bigger adjustment. So we could maybe like quickly I could, so like here there was a 4% difference. So let's make a 4% difference the other way. So let's bring this to like 55. So let's get rid of some of these hands. Wait, what? Oh, 45, that's right. Okay. So let's test that hypothesis here. Or we'll test to see if what I said before was true. Adjust more versus a loose opener than a tight one. Now we're 4% in each direction, so let's see if we adapt a similar amount, or maybe if like we adapt more versus one type of player compared to another. Oh! Exclamation point play! Quick! Okay. What's going on? It's not even giving me an estimated time. Oh. Again, it's gonna lag whenever it's running, so bear with me. You can even hear me say that. 9 minutes. Okay, yeah, we're not gonna run the 9 minutes. Oh, 4 minutes. I'll run another minute maybe. It's not gonna change that much, I think. Alright, so small blind range right now is 82. Let's go to the small blind here. 7. 86. So for the tight guy, we only go 2% tighter. Not even. 1.7. But versus the loose guy, we're going 3% looser versus them. Seems to be a little bit stronger influence in favor of a versus a loose player. It's close enough. CPU is crying. What's up, penguins? Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't know. Maybe a really good computer could not lag when it's running, but I'm pretty sure it's going to, regardless. My PC might be crying. I don't know if this is like that relevant to even be looking at, but it's kind of interesting that we make a bigger adjustment versus a loose cutoff range than a tight one on a final table. So if someone's too loose, we need to like adjust a lot more than if they're too tight. First the loose guy, we are 2.8%. 2.8% looser versus the tight guy, we're only 1.7% tighter. So we're like adjusting twice as much versus the loose guy compared to the tight guy. Kind of interesting. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. I feel better folding this now after looking at some spots. But it depends on my read on the cutoff, for sure. Like if I think the cutoff's not opening as wide as they should be, I think folding with the king queen off is good. This is what king queen off is looking like in theory. You know, somewhat valuable here. We should be jamming, which I thought we would be raise folding. I thought this would be like one of my bluffs, but it wants to jam, which I think makes sense. Probably it's better to bluff these. Better bluff with like an ace. King queen off does pretty well in an all-in pot, even though it's offsuit. Covers a lot of pocket pairs, I guess. I don't know. Like, we'd rather raise fold ace jack off and just jam king queen off. But in practice, versus a little bit of a tighter cutoff range, we still jam, but it's worth half as much as in theory. It's almost worth nothing at this point. And then if you factor in the rest of the table playing poorly, I can't see king queen off getting in there. I don't want to like adjust every single spot, but like just by adjusting this one spot a little bit, king queen off is almost worth 0. And I'm sure as this, if I like adjust like other people's ranges to be playing poorly, I would imagine we keep tightening up from there. So I kind of like my fold a little bit more. But if I have a reason to believe that cutoff is like opening well or too loose, we definitely need to be playing this. That's for sure. That's my analysis on that one, I think. Alright, so how do we make notes for that? Okay, so I already have theoretical spot. Take a screenshot of that. Cutoff opening more realistic. Tighter range. King queen off. Already worth half as much. And then we'll take another screenshot of this very loose opener's range. So we made a couple spots. We got a tight chip lead opening range, theoretical one, and a loose one. This is the loose one. Wait, what? Oh, what's going on? Oh, look at that. King queen off loses value versus the loose player, but we play more hands. Wow. That's an anomaly, huh? So we're playing 2.8% more hands in this scenario where the cutoff is opening too wide. And yet king queen off starts to fold and loses value. So what hands are being preferred now? We can start bluffing more offsuit ace-x. We know they're too loose. Sure. Suited 9s start to jam more. Jack 10 suited's all the way in there. Queen Jack, King Jack off doing some jamming. That's weird. Because you would, I mean, it's jamming very linearly, right? Like, it's from the strongest hands down. It's not like it's taking random hands and jamming. So you would think a range that goes wider would more often go with king queen off, and this hand would increase in value. Is it because we like block raise folds? That's what's going on? So like in this spot versus the loose guy, I gave him more. It's actually not even true. I gave him like a hair more king 7 off and queen 8 off. Maybe it's because we block more of these garbage hands now. King queen off is worth less. Is that possible? I mean, it's such a small adjustment. I don't know why else king queen off would lose value here. Very odd. Maybe it's literally just what I pointed out, just extra, couple extra king X and queen X that fold now. Could be it, I don't know. Okay, anyways. Cutoff opening wider than theory. We adjust more versus a 4% looser cutoff opening range. How much should we adjust? .8%, right? We adjust more. 2.8% versus a 4% looser. Not that these numbers are relevant, I'm just like, they're more so to like show me how much I'm adjusting, like I don't know how to put it. I'm just showing myself that there's like a difference and like which way it's moving, more so. I'm not really like thinking these exact numbers or whatever. We adjust more. What was it? Plus 2.8. So we're 2.8% looser versus a looser opening range. Then versus the tight guy, we were only 1.7% tighter. Versus a 4% looser or tighter cutoff opening range. I mean, I don't know if that'll ever pay dividends, but it might. Like, just like, you know, it's a decent like fundamental to know. Like, if someone's going looser, we want to adjust more than if they're tighter. I mean, that's a pretty big difference, like 50% difference. Because we went one way or another with 4%. Maybe... It's possible that 4% looser is not the same as 4% tighter. Yeah, maybe that's it. It's just because it's 4% to the relevant to the starting percentage. I don't know. I don't even know if that makes sense. It might not be a fair comparison. Anyways, let's move on from that. Oh. The main point. Actually, it's not even that main. My main point was I was gonna say jam the king queen off in theory and versus a looser cutoff range. But it doesn't even really seem so. Like versus the loose guy, our king queen off is worth nothing here. For some reason. Rather jam other hands. I don't know. So in practice I jammed here. I think in game I was like feeling like a nit. But I think after looking at it a little more, I think it's good. I mean, look at all the stacks that can bust. All these like mid and short stacks. What's our risk premium here actually? What are we looking like in theory? Bubble factors. So small blind versus cutoff. 15.5%. I mean, it's really high. Really high. The highest scenario is MP versus cutoff. Yeah, second versus first, obviously, and that's 19.6. So 15.5 is very high up there. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we didn't even change everything that we could have. Like I could be like accounting for everybody else to play like poorly. I would imagine king queen off is just good to fold here. I think we just want to be like, unless there's a lot of good players on the final table, I think tight is right usually. For the most part. Outside of like good opportunities, you know, good reads. I think tight is right for the most part. Yeah. I think I'm happy with that fold. I keep folding there. Alright, let's see. Bookmarks, bookmarks. Let's take the first one here. I don't even know what happened here. I didn't write anything. What could my question possibly be here? Does Queen 7 suited open jam if it folds to us? That's the only thing I can think of. Or how do we play this hand when there's two other short stacks? That's probably the question. I would think this is just an open jam. Maybe if like cutoff was shorter. Maybe if cutoff was shorter, we could like limp fold or something. I don't know. Let's find out. Any reason to save any of this? Seven-handed. Like 23 average or something roughly. What would you call a table setup like this? Pretty flat, right? Is that the word for it? No big stacks, no short stacks. Everybody's kind of flat. Probably a better word for it though. I don't know. Flat lineup, sure. Whatever. Move on. Okay. Let's get rid of these. Alright, what's next? This one. Five-handed. This one should load a little quicker since it's five-handed. If you guys are ever interested again, HRC, I have a code in chat.
We go about our daily lives understanding almost nothing of the world. We give little
You
thought
get
to the
10%
machine
off.
that generates the sunlight that makes life possible. To the gravity that glues us to an earth.
If you ever,
send us spinning
get
off
into it in the
space,
future, want to
to the
support me,
atoms
I'd
of which
appreciate it.
they're made, and on whose stability we fundamentally
Well,
depend.
plus the discount goes both ways. What are we looking here? What was the question again?
Where the cosmos came
Oh,
from,
this one, right?
or whether it was always there. If time
Queen
will
7
find us
suited,
out,
small blind.
or whether there are ultimate limits to what humans can know.
So yeah, my reasoning, or I thought it was gonna jam in theory.
Why we remember
Looks like I'm
not
correct.
the future. And why there is a human.
Pretty close though. Alright, so pretty close, but as figured, we're jamming. What kind of hands do we limp call?
Why there is a universe.
Oh wait, we don't do much limping, right? Yeah, we're too short to do much limping. It's mostly raise, folding, or jamming. really anything to add. Just want to look at it. Anything else we want to look at while we have this FT set up already? So we can run the tree a little longer while we think about it. Then I can save it too. Alright, what's hijack opening? Surprised we're opening ace-8 off here into a big blind that covers us with 3 shorties. It's not worth anything either, so... Alright, I think I can go... I think we're done with that. Did I say I wanted to do something with this one, though? Oh, I wanted to run this hand again, but, like, give somebody, like, a shorter stack. So let's run this final table a second time, but now... I'm gonna give cutoff 3.5 big blinds instead of 9. It's how our small blind range changes for this much shorter stack present. Okay, so now the short stack looks like Queen 7 suited just might be out of there. Or like played as a raise fold. Yeah, with the short stack present, I guess raise fold is good. I mean, you could just open fold. It's worth nothing. Might just be better to stay out of the way here. Again, especially if like button is punt. Probably kind of hard for cutoff to punt. I don't think they would go crazy. Actually, I'm kind of surprised. We're a little tighter than I would have thought here. 3. I would have thought any suited king was in there. I would have thought pocket deuces, the suited 8s, maybe even the suited 7s I thought would have been there as well. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so how did our range change? We took away, we made cutoff go from 9.5 big blinds to 3.5. With 9.5, in the small blind, folded to us. We play 42% of hands. With the cutoff only having 3.5 blinds, we play almost 6% tighter. So, pretty important not to just play too wide here when there's a short stack present. Even when there's not a short stack present. I mean, this is our range. It doesn't help that the big blind is deep, because we're going to have a higher risk premium versus them. Let's see if I have any. If I have any spots where the big blind's a shorter stack. Not really the scenario I was looking for, though. Oh, that looks pretty good actually. So this is if we cover the big blind. Similar stack depth. This is with if we're covered by a big stack. Playing 35% more hands. Be nice to see one if we're covered, but like not by a lot as well. Like here we're covered by a lot. So I would like to be covered, but maybe by a small amount. You know, it doesn't take that long to run. Let's just... Let's give this guy 20 bigs. So now he still covers us, but like, you know, if I rip into him and win and all in, like it damages him a lot. So it's definitely a different scenario. A little bit anyway. Alright, I'm gonna make half a cup of coffee. So in this scenario, we do some more calling. Do a lot more calling in this scenario compared to this one. I'm actually gonna get a couple pieces of fruit. Feeling a little uneasy. Alright. So, same table setup. But now, instead of the big blind having a lot more chips than us, he only has a little bit more chips than us. And we play about 10% more hands. 12% more hands. Big difference. some strawberries. Alright, here's another final table spot. This one we're four-handed. Alright, so I think I jammed here, but I'm not sure if we want to jam or not. Because I mean, 22 big blinds on an FT is a lot of chips, but we do cover. But we don't cover by that much, so I'm kind of interested what the output will be here. I think I jammed, though. Other than the small blind, ace-3 off, final table, I just jammed. But I'm not 100% sure that's the play. Play, though. Oh, I don't have an all-in range here. I don't know why it didn't. Okay. Forget that last output. Okay. Yeah, we do just jam here. So my next question is like, how deep does the big blind have to be before we don't jam on a final table in this scenario? We're actually jamming more than I thought. I thought we may have some calls at this depth, but especially since we don't have that big of a chip advantage on big blind. But big blind's so incentivized to play tight here with these other stacks. I mean, I definitely get it. Big blind versus small blind. 17.5%. Really, really high. Really, 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 really high. If we jam our... I mean, just jamming 9 deuce off. I mean, I would have played these as like raise folds. I would have probably jammed like 8-6 off though, or something. Would have jammed these. Maybe. Maybe not this depth. I would have jammed shorter, or like a bigger chip advantage. That's so we're only jamming because big blind's supposed to call like this. I guess we could look to see how different we play in the small blind if we had the big blind call a little looser. A couple more pocket pairs, a couple more ace-x. Alright, now let's duplicate it. Now, let's see what happens if we jam, right? And now big blind calls off too loose. So let's say they call off these. Let's go like this. Alright. Let's see how much our range changes in the small blind here. If the big blind calls too wide. So this is probably closer to a realistic calling range in practice. Or like closer to it maybe. I think most people are not calling this tight here. Alright. Let's see how things change. Well, it looks like we're not playing 100% of hands anymore. So... that's interesting. All we did was... we made it so big blind calls more all-ins, right? So I think the reason why we're folding hands now is because we have too many hands that don't jam. So like, if we play too many hands, we probably just become like overweight garbage or something. I don't know. That's my guess. So this is what it looks like in theory. We play 100% of hands, jam a ton. Now, still jam a similar amount. We actually jam more now. Just play fewer hands. Oh no, I was looking at the wrong number. Oh, I'm an idiot. No, we jam way less now. Duh. We don't jam almost at all. Isn't that crazy? I mean, we still jam 15%, but before we were jamming 60%. Wow, look at that. What a difference. What a difference a small thing makes like that. Big blind calls more all-ins, and now from the small blind we want to shift to a heavy calling range. You know, we really don't want to jam much at all. We can do a little bit of jamming, but still doing the same amount of like raising non-all-in. It's because we didn't really change how they react to that. So big blind's calling an all-in with 12.4 in this spot. In theory, they should be calling 8.4. So I made them call 50% more versus all-ins. And it makes sense. Now we don't really want to leverage the all-in if they're overplaying their hand in that spot. So it makes sense that we start to just kind of remove the all-in scenario, I guess. Made it so big blind calls all-ins too wide, and our strategy drastically shifts away from all-ins. Imagine that. Even versus someone who calls too much, though, I mean, I don't mind jamming our ace-3 off. Oh, actually, it's worth way more to non-all-in this scenario. Even though it does some jamming. I wonder if I keep running it, maybe it'll, let's run it even lower. Let's see if it removes the all-in by a larger margin. I'm gonna clean out my coffee cup. I'll be right back. Alright. That's enough. Yo, what's up, Score Pipe on Kick? Score Pip? Am I sleeping? Nope. Not that I know of. Yo, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. We're just kind of studying poker. Kind of getting to the end of it, though. I mean, it's only so much, I think, studying should do in a day. Cause I have all the, I still, like, I still have to review everything, too. So, like, you don't just go over it once, you review it a few times. So let's see. Oh, so now we pretty much don't jam at all. Wow, look at that. So let's take a new screenshot here. Replace that old one. Sorry for my English, no worries. How many times do I, like, how often do I study? How often do I work on my game? I mean, often. Usually every day. The last, like, month and a half, I haven't been studying much. I'm doing a lot of playing. But for the most part, I've been playing for, I think this is my 9th year, if I'm not mistaken. This is my 9th year. I mean, most of that time I've studied most days that I'm not playing. I would say over that 8.5 years, I've probably any day I'm not playing, I've probably studied like 95% of those days, I would say, at least. That might be a low number, like... it might be like 98, 99% of days I'm not playing, I'm studying. I rarely go a day without doing anything. Very rare. Very rare. So yeah. So now we pretty much never jam, which is pretty cool, I would say. How bad is it to jam here? Looks like it's still about, yeah, it's still pretty bad. Pretty bad. It's still, like, it's still winning to jam here, but it's making more money just non-all-inning. Just pretty much not jamming at all if they call too wide. As a reference, this is a final table. I made it so small blind goes all in, and then this is in theory what big blind should be calling if small blind goes all in. I made it so big blind calls off like this. Like, you know, maybe this is like a recreational who's not really aware of like how tight they should be in the big blind when they cover 2 stacks. So maybe they call something like this, and now we pretty much never jam. Whereas in theory, we jam like everything. If you can't tell, this blue color or whatever is all-ins. You can tell at the top here. We're jamming with this color. We're raising non-all-in with this color. You know, these are all the colors. So, pretty cool adjustment here. Now the question is kind of interesting. I'm gonna run it one more time, but I want to make the big blind have less chips. Let's see if we still do no jamming. What's my ABI? It used to be higher. I'm playing lower this year because I live in the US, and I'm trying to have a lower ABI because of the tax stuff. I mean, your English is pretty good, by the way. Except HRC. My ABI right now is probably like 40 bucks. It used to be like 80 bucks or 90, but essentially my strategy this year is to play like higher ROI games. To counteract this tax change. I mean, I don't even know how the tax. I'm just like guessing how I should adapt. I'm just guessing, like, go with higher ROI games. ROI. That's been my strategy anyway. Oh yeah, before it was probably, my ABI was probably like 80 bucks. I mean, I pretty much like cut my ABI in half this year. I don't even know if that's the best play, I'm just guessing. You can always adjust in the future. Especially at like the start of next year or middle of next year, whenever. When I get a better idea of the tax situation. Or hopefully they just get rid of it. They go back to what they were doing before or whatever. Anyway, let's I'm gonna run this for a little bit. It's gonna. Hey, what's up, monster? Hello, hello. Do I play on GG? No. I'm in I don't file my taxes myself. I have an accountant. I don't really know what he does. Do I play on GG? Oh, why? Because I'm from New York in the United States, so there's no GG for me. I play on BetOnline, ACR, WPT Gold, and what else did I? Oh, Coin Poker. Right now. Okay, I'm gonna run this now. It's gonna lag, by the way. Bear with me. VPN? Absolutely not. You are asking to get all your money taken away and have your account closed. No, thank you. Coin Poker, hard to low ABI. Yeah, Coin Poker. I'm not the only stuff I'm playing. The only higher games I'm playing is on like. Oh, let me cancel the sim so I'm not lagging. Yeah, the only site I'm really playing bigger games on is WPT Gold right now. Everything else I'm playing pretty low. ACR, yeah, just playing pretty low games. Alright, now let's run small blind here. Okay, that's good. Now let's duplicate this one, and now what I want to see is if small blind goes all in at this stack depth and the big blind calls too wide. now that we're a little shorter, are we still removing jamming or just jamming less? Alright, let's say this is their range here. Alright, now let's run this. See how we, see if anything... How much different we play. My guess is we don't completely eliminate the all-in option like we did when we were deeper, but could be wrong. Give me your TRC or ACR nickname. You want to send me some 50-50 tickets? Question mark? Yeah, I didn't want to respond while I was running the sim because I know it's lagging. Hopefully you can hear me now. But there are 2 conditions: profit 50-50, 5 tournaments of 150 bucks. Yeah, I mean, you could send me some tickets. I won't say no to that. I am Sheepsu on ACR. You want to do that? Just to let you know though, 50-50, I mean, you're not gonna make money on that. Like, I don't have, I might have like a greater than 50% ROI in like really low games, but most games, 50% ROI is like crazy high. Just to let you know. It's not the most profitable thing for you. Yeah, I want to keep running this because we're already lost a ton of all-ins. Do we really go to 0 all-ins again? Very interested. Alright, that's good enough. So look at that. Look at the difference there. So we can still jam the offsuit ace-x. It's still way better to jam these compared to any other play. But we're pretty much not jamming like anything else. Like, we don't really need to jam anything outside of like the ace-x and low pocket pairs. Maybe these like suited connectors still do fine. Pretty big difference. $30 to check your balance? 30 minutes. What do you mean 30 minutes? I'm not gonna play right now, by the way. I'm not playing right now. Even though I very much appreciate it. You made 2 re-entries in GG Millions yesterday. 10K buy-in, oh wow. Yeah, we actually had the biggest day we've ever had yesterday. We had a lot of big day 2s. Including a 1K PKO buy-in, which we made day 2. We'll be playing that. We'll be playing that this Sunday. Okay, let's screenshot this. Keep moving. Hopefully you made the money on the third bullet at least. It's a big buy-in though. That's a lot of money. Okay, that's how we play in theory. Made it so big blind calls all ins too wide. Shorter. Than previous. Too wider. Too wide. Shorter than previous sim. Not really much I need to add there. I mean, the range is kind of self-explanatory. I don't need to really explain what's going on. I just have to look at it. Okay. It's a little early. What else should I do? Kind of want to play a game, but it's kind of early to play a game. could see what you put in my account, though. I'll do that right now. If you're still there. Let me just go full cam. Oh, wow. I don't see it in there. Maybe you said, maybe you meant like wait 30 minutes or something. Okay. No worries. Is my YouTube video done uploading? Or my bot, I mean. It is? Okay. Alright, well I really have to pee again. I'll be right back. I think I just might play some Mario when I get back. I don't know. I don't mind reviewing, but I guess I could like review these all real quick. Just, I don't know. I don't really want to add more tabs because I think I'm gonna play tomorrow, so. And there's only so much I can absorb in one day, I think. Maybe that's copium. It's definitely diminishing returns, though. At least on the day. Okay, I don't know. I'll be right back. I'll think about it. I gotta pee.